We've spent over $1 million in Google ads trying to drop ship. We've spent over $1 million in Google ads trying to drop ship expensive products. And there are 5 things that blew our mind. It's Joe and Mike here from buildassetsonline.com, and we're going to tell you what they are. So the first thing, number 1, is that ad agencies, if an ad agency reaches out to help you out with your store, ad agencies are garbage. Mike, why?
Hang up the phone. So we've gotten so many calls from companies like Logical Position, and I don't know, it's a cold calling Ponzi scheme with these ad agencies. And we also have so many students that come to us and say, should I go with this ad agency? They called me, they sound legit. And time again, we have seen that they just don't work. And so there's a reason for this, a very specific reason. It's because they have no idea what's going on inside your business. They don't know your relationship with this supplier, how often this item gets damaged, your actual margin on this item, what the deal is. So they have no way to actually focus on the distribution. I got a hair in my nose, Joe. What the hell is this? They have no way to focus on the distribution of your spend that actually caters to what's going on with your margins, with your supplier relationships, etc. So they can never do as good of a job as you, even though you don't have the same level of skill as them.
Right. So even with a high skill, even with the high skill that they have, without the internal knowledge of your business, they're just probably going to end up wasting so much money getting you sales that you're not going to make a lot of money on or are going to be out of stock. And so you really need to be in there, not even day to day, but maybe every week tweaking your ads yourself, or someone on your team needs to be doing it rather than an external team.
Right. So the fact that you have to go in there and tweak things yourself completely invalidates their model, because they're going to put you into their machine. They're going to have their person going in and tweaking their bids, and they have all these fancy tools and strategies, etc. But if they're applying them in the wrong places, it doesn't work. And we've spent tens of thousands of dollars just paying ad agencies to see if they can help us. And yeah, we've gotten sales from them and we've learned things from them, which we'll talk about later. But the fact that you need to be involved, it invalidates everything. You can just go in and do it yourself and not have to pay them $2,000 a month and still get the same results.
Right. So it might work in a few scenarios. Before we move on to the next point, it might work if you have like a couple products that you're selling, which we don't recommend, or you don't care about your profit margin. So you're a business that just cares about driving the top line revenue. We care about financial freedom here at Build Assets Online. So profit is actually very important to us. If you're a big company with tons of investors, don't care about your bottom line, then it might be a different story. You might want to work with an ad agency. But for a regular person trying to achieve some level of financial freedom, do not work with an ad agency. So point number 2, when you're dropshipping expensive products, even if you suck, you can still be profitable.
Yeah, so on the same note, even with the ad agencies, how they could be just amazing at what they do, technically, they can come in and not have a result. With students, we see the exact opposite. I'll go on these calls with people that have just started their ads or they've been running for a month, and everything that we teach inside of our membership and our course, they kind of maybe got the wrong idea. They didn't implement things a certain way. Maybe they haven't gone through our troubleshooting module where we point out the top mistakes that new ad spenders make. But long story short, I see that they made a whole bunch of mistakes. Meanwhile, they're still profitable. Why? It's the magic of high-ticket dropshipping, Joe.
Right. When you have a room to make $500 profit on a product and there's not a lot of competition for it, you can make a lot of mistakes and it doesn't matter. So it just goes to show the importance of your overall business strategy, and the ads are just, they're just part of that business strategy. I don't know what I'm saying here, but the overall business strategy is just as important, if not more important, than what's inside your ads account, what's, the technical details of it.
Right. So you're saying that if you're selling a $29 t-shirt, then yeah, if you do things the wrong way, if you do things even maybe 5% wrong, it's going to result in you having a catastrophic failure. With this, you can do things 50% wrong, 60% wrong, and you're still in the green, as it were.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Mike.
There you go.
All right. So point number 3 is that Google ads are the most evergreen traffic source that there is. And we have lots of traffic sources that we've used over the years to compare it to Google ads. Social media traffic. If you're doing social media organic traffic, you have to be constantly creating content or running social media ads. You're going to have to be constantly tweaking your ads. and you're going to spend so much time, and these ads are going to go up, they're going to go down, it's going to be all over the place. The other thing we've done, and we still continue to do because it's amazing, is SEO traffic. SEO traffic is similar to Google Ads because it's high intent traffic. If someone is typing something in like best widget into Google and you're ranking for that page, they obviously want to buy a widget. Or if they type in like brand widget, they might want to buy a widget. But the thing with SEO traffic is that even though it's super high intent, it takes a while to rank pages, and it's also volatile. So we've had sites go to the moon one day, and then, next month down, back in the dumps. Google makes an algorithm change. And with Google Ads, it's just like a faucet. You turn it on, you turn it off, and you don't have to worry about all this volatility with other ads, with other ad types, and you're still getting that super high intent traffic.
Yeah, Google Ads was really the first thing that allowed us to have consistent success in online business, truth be told. I mean, besides for Kindle publishing, which is a separate story, but Google Ads has been working for us for literally 5 or 6 years with really minimal effort. And you've gone and we've done all these SEO experiments, and they've worked out very, very profitably. But I wouldn't call it volatile, but the point is, you talked about in some previous videos how you had these stores, or not stores, content sites that were running purely off SEO, and then you kind of stopped paying attention to them. And then over time, the traffic will begin to dip if you're not putting that energy into it.
Right.
With Google Ads, you don't have to do that because energy you're putting into it is just money. So it's pay to play. It'll keep getting you basically consistent traffic if you don't even touch it for a year. And that's what we saw when we interviewed Braden, who had one of our stores, barely touched the ads for a very, very long time, and the revenue was way up, and he was able to basically flip one of our stores for a profit.
Right, exactly. So point number 4 is that you need to increase your spend to increase your sales. And on the surface of saying that, Mike, this doesn't seem like something that's that mind-blowing. So we kind of, when you wanted to add this point, I was like, why do you want to add this to the list? But this was something that you said absolutely blew your mind when you first figured this out. Mm-hmm.
This was something that really was a mental blockage for me because, yeah, on the surface, obviously you need to increase spend to increase sales. But the point is that if you are, say, making $30,000 a month and you want to get to $60,000 a month, like with what we were doing, say back in the day, I had this idea in my head that if I can just tweak things enough, if I can just improve the conversion rate of the ads or of what's going on inside of our store, that I can get to that $60,000 a month mark. But it's simply not true. There is tweaking that you can do, and there's ways to spend the same amount of money and make more revenue with Google Ads for sure. But once you're doing things, 80% of the way correct, the only way that you're going to go from $30,000 a month to $60,000 a month is to just basically double your spend. There's nothing you can do on page, nothing you can do by improving your conversion rate that's going to get you there. And that was kind of the mind-blowing thing for me. It wasn't just like obviously if you're going to go from 0 sales, you're not spending any money. You have to start spending some money to make sales, but you get what I'm saying. You have to, the amount that spend correlates with revenue is astounding. And I think we have a screenshot of, we'll pull it up on the screen, of the amount that we spend over years and years and years. And you can see our conversion rate is just our conversions are just completely in line with that. And so that at the end of the day is the only thing you have to focus on if you want to get from 60 to 100, 100 to 200, $300,000 revenue, and so on.
Okay, point number 5 is that you can spend 1 cent and make a $5,000 sale. This was unbelievable to me, but stuff like this has happened to us on multiple occasions and continues to happen. And why is this even possible with Google Ads? Like that is not possible on any other ad platform or anything else that I could think of. But why does this happen?
Well, it's going back to the previous point. I thought, how do we get only 1 cent clicks and make only 1 cent sales? And the thing is, it's just not possible. But with Google Shopping, primarily, you're able to show up for these super long tail keywords that you can't even run text ads for because the search volume is so low. So you somehow did something with your product description, with your product title, and now when someone searches this weird ass phrase, you're going to show up there. There's no auction happening on it. You get that click, you get that sale. And I think we have another screenshot here showing like conversions we've got for 1 cent, 2 cent, all the way down to like 30 cents. And it happens all the time. And yeah, it's all because of the long tails.
Yeah. So that's about it for this episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to learn how to build $1 million in online assets, visit buildassetsonline.com/playbook. We'll show you how we build our dropshipping stores, our other business models to create that amount of value in online assets. That's about it. And be sure to, do all that stuff, like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments how you feel about Google Shopping and Google Ads. Has it worked for you? Has it not worked for you? Have you not tried it? Do you want to try Google Shopping instead of all these social media platforms that most people are trying for ads? Let us know, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take it easy.